We are changing it up for today's episode. A short one. It will be continuing from our short with that lovely cosmic flower activation. Love and passion and romance and intimacy, as we discussed with the lovely episodes on you. If you watched, the thread to your vessel is your heart, a heart that is open to the truth of you as yourself whole and as part of all that is. And also we talked about the empowered feminine. So again, the cosmic flower and your home, the first place you're at home, if you are, is your body. And if you're not, that's what the therapists support people with: somatic, sensory-motor, EMDR, and child parts work. So when I see people forgetting to do the whole thing, I notice because they tend to be in the 4D community. 3D, 4D community use their threat response is how I'm going to break it down, but please remember I'm the pseudoscience lady, and also I'm giving you a subjective interpretation as a mentor for those who are empowered and as a person who's empowered with emotions and thoughts. So the people who need additional support, they don't find themselves as comfortable doing life with the mind because they are not comfortable with the bilateral stuff. So emotions come up. We got a Zen master who talks about laundry, just an example. And it's not a competition. But again, mentorship, inner growth, it's for the people who inspire to be their infinite higher human conscious potential experience in the lifetime of now. And really, if we want, we can use determined Robert Sapolsky, who says we don't have free will. So I know that whoever's going to navigate here, it's people who love to do love. And I'm trying to share with y'all, when you have a home, you always love, which is why you find out what the emotionally unavailable men, women, and theys are doing is something called a visceral, which Stephen Porges explains is not love, because they don't know how to sit with each other safely in bodies. And so they tend to also not know what love, the oxytocin gene hormone, is consistently. So eustress, I know eustress, which is why I don't like being near nervous systems that are not in eustress. And now that I'm a grown up with a lot more information, so thanks to knowledge, I'm empowered. I do forgive because they do not know. Thank you, Jesus. And as for God, I have a relationship with God. And I said, hey, they do a lot of yucky things out there. I think it's from our medieval times and torture chamber. And there's men in suits that use your name and women, but they're not really supporting true love. They're supporting, oh, what was it? Yes, I won't get texted back because they have contempt and disgust towards me, and then shame. I don't know where the shame goes, but I do know where it can be healed, and it's at a good therapist's office, not at a crappy one's. And that's the other part. So with God, I say, hey, there's a lot of professionals. They don't really seem to be healthy yet, and they actively get on screen and tell people that it's not inherently healthy to be in non-reactivity. So, I'm like, wow, ignorance, pretty awesome, huh? No, not really. So you get the drift. Here is where mentorship is for the ones, again, who want to do emotion. So love, passion, romance, intimacy. They are of an empowered feminine vessel, which is your cosmic flower. So it's once you know how to love yourself first. Terry Real and Patrick Tiahan are really good for people who don't know and are confused. So you can get your child online and be uncharged, not project your unfinished business. Oh, by the way, 4D, 3D get to marry their unfinished business, which is also not interesting to those of us who love to love and love to live and love to dance and love to laugh, because seriously, life is short, and knowing how to use your state of safety when shit goes down, really nice. So my panic attacks as a mystic is what we can thank. Light body, light body, light body, rainbow body expansion. Yes, we don't lose people. And the 5D, when I'm channeling, I'm not treating you like people who don't understand how you work, because that's the whole point. You have a whole self. You have the capacity to say, yep, I got thoughts and feelings. I like to do life with the state of safety, because there's smart people out there sharing the restorative embodiment life. It's your birthright. It's mine. Integration of the brain. So I believe in you and the capacity for you to use your brain and your mind and your body, and to get a whole self if you don't have one, because you care about yourself. Because, if you're on a plane and you don't put that mask on, and it's not in a selfish way that I saw in different movies, they're like, using it as a self-centered, as usual, people don't have any kind of idea that all their nightmares towards humanity come from their own very same determined Robert Sapolsky household, their first 3 years of life. And as for our ancestors, we're looking forward to getting rid of transgenerational cultural trauma. The ones of us who won't pick the bear will pick the man. But men, we're not actually physically safe with you, just FYI. I will stand down immediately, especially when I have a small ego, because small egos are reactive, because that's exactly what a 3-year-old is, but they're grown up with a brainstem that actively leads them. So I'm talking to a dumb person. And that's actively not meant to insult anyone, but you know how many people think that they're not reactive and their control is something called repression. And I am an empowered feminine, so I'm going to feel that vessel being like a little boiling water pot, but I don't test anyone because that's not fun. And also, again, I'm 4'9", but also I don't really want to engage with people who don't know how to be true to love, romance, passion, to relationships, facades. They're not fun to actively continue to engage with. Once you find out you got a flag, no flag post, again, it's a 3-year-old, an 8-year-old, they're playing out their unfinished business without the self-awareness, accountability, and regulation to say, let me be Pacha, not Cusco. So Cusco, we all know what Cusco does. And at the end, he still lies. I don't like liars, but I understand that those who don't rule their subconscious are going to consistently be afraid to be themselves, like my facade friend. So you learn how to spot them. In fact, women, men, and days, watch your friends in their groups. If they're that influenceable, they're still teenagers who fall for peer pressure, but they're not just teenagers anymore. Now they're just people who are basically not owning their self and not learning how to be with thoughts, emotions, and it's called a differentiated self. When you can, my whole 3-year-old, she told my mother too, you can't spank me. When you can claim your independence, thinking, feeling-wise, you're going to know why your brain don't fall out of your asshole. And that's because it can't. Knowledge is beautiful, so is being empowered. Come on over. So love, intimacy, yes. Romance, passion, it's not from the visceral. It's from you being able to be in your prefrontal, you being able to use 2 sides of the brain and this way. And for those who don't have the success of moving over here, they have the 4D3D to let them know that it's cool, and I'm definitely cool with differences. It's why the 5D mystics don't use Lucifer's name every time some shit goes down, because we also know Patrick McNamara, neuroscientists, they explain how the brain works. Oh, and everyone can be in the flow state. And it's really nice. So once you get over the hump, choo-choo train, you're going to all know that. So I'm being really funny today because, a lot of people say that it's not possible somehow to vibe in enlightenment. I wonder how they would even bother saying that. You haven't even tried. You're still breathing and living, and yet you're not even trying to do it. And there's a smart therapist out there. So again, the thread to your vessel, it's your heart. A heart that is open to the truth of you if you're open to yourself as a whole self and to others. And we unconditionally love each other. So please be respectful and kind to those who don't want to be in their state of safety. They will make themselves very clearly the emotionally unavailable person. It will be a 360 on you. It will be silence. It will be a lot of inconsistencies. And that is why we leave it alone. Tune in for more. Have a great one.